So let's have an update on what's going on in the Conservative Party leadership election. Honestly, the greatest clown show, and indeed, though it may be the silly season, it's the wonderful oasis in the desert of content at the moment. You can't go wrong having a look at what's going on in the leadership contest to find almost something instantly you can talk about. So remember, at the moment, we've got these 6 candidates, all at the moment horse trading, all trying to convince their MPs in the party. Remember, 121 Conservative MPs trying to convince them, back me as the next leader. And remember, part of this horse trading, part of this promise will be, I'll back you if I get this shadow cabinet position. Make me shadow secretary of state for the treasury, or shadow defense secretary, etc., etc., or make sure I get put on, this committee. At the moment, that is what is really going on behind the scenes. They are horse trading like crazy, trying to find out who is backing who's going to get what. And remember, soon, very soon indeed, we are coming up to a point where if you don't have enough MPs, you ain't going to make the final 4. The final 4, I honestly don't know who could make the final 4, but given this, we'll make some maybe early projections. But what is surprising at the moment, Robert Jerrick, a man who, bear in mind, has a huge checkered past, not a very good one at all, to be honest, to be making leader, and of course, someone who has the moniker of generic Jerrick, someone who is so boring he could put a lord to sleep. That was a top tier Conservative MP who said that about Jerrick. What, a couple of months back? What? Can't remember what it was, but yeah, can't remember what the video was called now. But yeah, we covered that when they were sort of laying into him when he resigned, a little over a year ago, about the Rwanda scheme. Oh, it wasn't hard enough. Well, you were in charge of, the Rwanda scheme, Derek. Why didn't you make it harder? What were you doing? But anyway, we'll get to probably talking more into this at the moment. But as we said at the moment, it is all about the MPs. It's not going to be until the final 2, until the members get their say. And trust me, depending on who the final 2 are, they could very easily win. And at the moment, as I've said, if Kimi Badnoch gets to the final 2, it's her race. It's hers. She wins it. She is insanely popular amongst the Conservative leadership, membership. And when they get their chance to vote, they will vote for Kimi Badnoch. This will be the Liz Truss Sunak election all over again. The Tory MPs clearly wanted Rishi Sunak, but they put forward Truss as we'll let the membership have their say, even though we think, Rishi Sunak will win. And then, of course, Truss went on to win it, which then, of course, led to them installing Sunak at the next, of course, election. And of course, that annoyed massively Boris Johnson, because he knew if he got to the membership, they would quite gladly vote him back in with absolute glee. While the MPs would be like, what is going on here? This is an absolute nightmare. Boris Johnson is leader again. This is an absolute disaster. As I said, the membership is a problem. But we've talked about that enough. But anyway, we're going to have a look at the moment who is now backing who in the current stacks of MP votes, or at least MPs who have now publicly declared who are they backing. So before we do get into this, please remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. There's a Patreon page down below. There's the Buy Me a Coffee link as well. There's the YouTube thank you button. There's, of course, the Pony Club down below as well. And, of course, click the link, click the share. And, of course, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel that way. So, on over to Conservative Home, because they do this nice list every so often. This list is a bit out of date as far as I am aware. This was Wednesday, I believe, when this came out. We now, I believe, have 40 MPs, which, bear in mind, is not a lot. These MPs, There's only 121 of them, and they are taking their sweet time about deciding who is backing who. So at the moment, Kimmy Badnock has 8. We've got Alex Brunnock, Julia Lopez, Andrew Griffith, Andrew Bowie, Jesse Norman, Ben Orbsy-Jecty, Ben Spencer, and Gareth Bacon backing Kimmy Badnock. James Cleverly only has 4. Bear in mind, a couple of days ago in the Daily Mail, we reported, the members want Jarrett. The members want Cleverly. The members would vote for Cleverly. Currently, at the moment, the MPs don't seem to be wanting Cleverly. We've only got 4 MPs backing him: Peter Fortune, Simon Hoare, Gargan. I don't even know how you pronounce that one, and Charlie Dewhurst as well. So that's very, very small amount for James Cleverly, but I always said that Cleverly brings far too much baggage with him from the previous, not only the Sunak administration, but the Boris administration as well. He's got far too much one. But the surprising one at the moment in the lead when it comes to MPs, Robert Jerrick. He has 11 backing him almost immediately, coming out very strong. So Danny Kruger, Edward Leith, Caroline Johnson, Mark Pritchard, Jack Rankin, Esher McVeigh, John House, Gareth Davis, John Cooper, Matt Vickers, and of course, John Lemon. And of course, we talked about Matt Vickers last time, coming out and backing him very strongly from last weekend's hustings in North Yorkshire. Will Jerrick continue with this momentum? But almost certainly, I can see him being in the final 4. That's for sure. But we'll get more into that in a moment. Priti Patel's only got 4. Mel Stride surprisingly has 6, being backed by none other than Desmond Swain. You can always tell when it's the comedy candidate when Desmond Swain backs them. And of course, Tom Tugendhat on 6 as well. So when you are looking at this final 4, really at the moment, it's Robert Jerrick, Kimmy Badnock. Then it's really a battle between Mel Stride and Tom Tugendhat. And that really is looking like that might be your 4. Whether that 4 turns out or not, we don't know. This list at the moment is a bit out of date. Like I say, we do know that there are now 40 MPs declared. I think this has 36, I believe, MPs declared on here. So it is a bit out of date, but we know at the time of doing this, there are currently 40 MPs that have come out publicly saying who they are backing for the leadership. But at the moment, when you look at this, it's Jerrick, Badnock, Mel Stride, Tom Tugendhat. And Mel Stride and Tom Tugendhat are currently neck and neck with 6 MPs each. So doesn't look like Priti Patel's going to get there. James Cleverly certainly not going to get there at all by the looks of it. But once Patel drops out, those and her support, I think, will probably fall in line behind Kimmy Badnock. I don't think they'll fall in with Jerrick. Mel Stride and Tom Tugendhat, they are both singing from the same hymn sheet, so maybe they've sort of split each other's support. Maybe on that. We'll see what happens with Mel Stride. I think the only reason he's in the race is to run for shadow cabinet position. But like I say, he's not the serious Tory candidate. He's the literally who of this candidate, the comedy candidate of this particular election. But yeah, interesting, of course, how this is playing out at the moment with Robert Jerrick currently in the lead when it comes to sort of MPs. But hey, if it gets down to the final 4, and bear in mind, Kimmy Badnock on 8, he on 11, it's not going to take too much more for her to catch up. And then, of course, we come to the final 4. We'll see what happens there. Once again, that will be the MP trading for those MPs that were left to say who they want to back. And then, of course, then you get the final 2. And that's when the membership will come in. And we've said before, the membership knows what it wants. What it wants is Kimmy Badnock. So if she gets the final 2, she will win. And it will be her victory to win. But we'll keep an eye on what goes on. Certainly, I think the next big update will be who is making it to the final four. And then, of course, it will be the Tory conference, and we'll see what happens at the Tory conference. But trust me, this is when I'm expecting things to get a bit spicy, because to stand out from your fellows, you've got to start attacking them. And at that point, unity is off the table. Unity is off the table. Bob Blackman and his yellow cards and his strongly worded letters will be being fired out. But as we said before, punishment for what? What exactly is that going to be seen as? You know, Bob Blackman never spelled out exactly how it was a punishment to receive a yellow card and a strongly worded letter from him. But who knows? Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.